Well, thanks for waiting on the build. We're working on the wing now. Fuselage is all done. Let's see, we got to go here. Fuselage is all done. Very light. And the other day, you remember I decided I would cut out ribs. So I cut them out. Yo! And here's my rib set. What's left of them. I got to cut a few yet. And we'll cut these 7. Notch this. They're already cut. I will notch them so that I can put them on here. And I'm going to build this wing in my hand. I'm not going to jig it up or anything like that. I'm going to put it all together, pin it, and glue it in my hand. Because it's real simple to do. All right. So how do I get the holes in the ribs? Well, this is a 5/8 piece of brass, and I've sharpened the inside of this tube. And the first thing I do is take it, put it where it's supposed to be. I'm doing 3 at a time. Just push it down. And a knife, connect the dots. Punch that last one out when I pick it up. And this is the outboard side, so really don't even have to do this, but I don't do anything half-ass. And you can make these holes any size you want. So we'll push it out here. No big deal. Looks like I didn't get this one cut all the way through. There we go. Now, the notches for the spars are 1/4 inch wide by about 3/8 deep. And I just drew them on there. And I take my stick, it's got sandpaper on it, 1/4 inch stick with sandpaper on it. .180 sandpaper on the stick. Yep. This wood's so soft. Just snap that. Shoot. To glue it together. What I need to sand this stick. It doesn't, not relieving quite. That should do it. Broke again. Oh well. It'll be fine. It needed that relieving because so I try to keep all the pen marks on one side. That way we know the wing is going to be straight. Shoot, that thing broke really good. Again. It'll be fine. Okay. Pen mark. Maybe we need to turn this just a little bit. Wings like this are kind of fiddly, but they're not hard to build. I could say just fiddly. And I suppose you could do it in a jig. I just choose not to. Well, it would help if I put it on right. Dummy. Yes, that would help immensely. New kind of wing. The backwards forward wing. Okay. This way. Yep, the backwards forward wing. And I still got it ass backwards. Maybe tonight's not my night. But I'll muddle through it and get her done. I hope this series turns out to be a good series. We gained 70 new subscribers on the Brodak videos. 17,000 views and counting, still going on Joe and his Venus. Okay. 4 ribs left. We're going to cut all 4 at the same time. Okay. Yeah. Now, there's several ways to do these ribs. You could stack sand them. You could cut them one at a time. I think I traced them all out. Yeah, I traced them all out, cut them one at a time on this model, and then sanded them to shape. So they were all the same. We're going to sand the wing with a bar as soon as it's all together. Make it uniform. This is a super streak. Will be like no other. Going to have a good finish on it. Hey, James made control horn that was strong and hollow, 9mm, 20 brass. Cut off bevel, 90-degree, drill a hole. Yeah, I do things a little different. Now, just because I do things different doesn't mean my way's the only way. It's just my way. It's worked for me for 60 years. I guess I'm too old to learn new tricks, so we'll stick with it. Now, when I was a kid, I used to cut spare ribs for lunch. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to cut these slots. There's that broke again. There must be something wrong with the stick. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. What I need to do is make a cutter with a saw blade, just rip. got to be something with this stick. It breaks on the upstroke every time. Oh well, we're done. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, that'll work. Come on, get in there. Oh, up here. She's hung up there. Yeah. Okay, let's put the trailing edge on it. Gonna pin all this together. Drink some water. I think we'll bend them over and then pull them back to the slot. Bend them over and pull them back. Come on now. Stupid thing. Starting to aggravate me. It's on the heavy side. What's on the heavy side? What's on the heavy side, James? This airplane? I don't think so. Maybe I need my vise to hold this up straight. Certainly don't want to get in there. What's holding it up? That one. Hey, Terry. Yeah, I don't know what it'll be. You know what? I'm going to glue one of these. Just to hold it in place. Come on now. Don't give me a fit. Maybe we're not going to build this in my hand. This thing is shaking all over the place. I used to do it as a kid. What the hell is going on here? I guess things have changed. It does not want to get in there, but we're going to do something there. Okay. Can't let it beat me. Well, definitely got hot. Guess we go to the other end and get it glued. Okay, there's that one. So we get this one glued and they all should go in. Yeah, it's hot. Don't want to go together. What's the story, Larry? Hope the leading edge will go better than this. Should. Son and daughter getting grandkids. Wife think crazy as well. Okay. Okay. Looking pretty good. It's coming. Just giving me a little bit of a fit. We'll get it. Can't beat me. Oh, shit. Broke a rib up here. Okay. Well, I'm probably going to have to move the camera because you guys can't see what the heck I'm doing. But trust me, I'm building it in my hand. Just trying to get everything to fit. That's the whole thing behind this. Wonder if the leading edge is going to be okay. Yeah. So far, so good. We'll square it up after I get these tacked on. Like building a house. Plumb and line. There it went. There it is. I think I need a new nozzle on this. Yeah. Ah, you bitch. Stupid thing. No, that's why. Well, we're getting there. Just slow. Just slow. There it is. There it is. It went. One. There it went. We got it. Ta-da! I just need to glue her up. Let's see where did I leave off. Yeah, looks pretty straight to me. This stuff is not rocket science. I mean, if it looks straight, it's straight. I gotta get a new tip. This tip is crap. Either that or get it opened up. Just don't. Just get a new one. I don't want to play. got some skin on it already, so it must be a good model. I thought Steve got some new tips. We might be time for a new tip. 100%. I cannot believe the wingtips are 16th inch. That's a joke. Make them 1/8 or 3/16. Something with a little meat on it. Of course, we'll hollow them up too. I don't remember how much tip weight to put in this. I have to look at the instructions. We used to just roll up a bottle of Sigmet, or testers into a little wad and glue it into the tip out there. Let's see how much we're supposed to have. Things certainly have changed. We ain't putting no wingtip weight box in it or adjustable lead ups. And it doesn't say how much tip weight. Rudder is cemented in place. Rudder offset. Double cement rudder stabilize the fuselage. Blah, blah, blah. Stuff to push up. Let's see. Maybe sand stabilizer. No, we want to look with the wing. Okay, here we go. 1 ounce. Cement approximately 1 ounce of weight to the outside of the circle wingtip. Okay. At least we have an idea of how much to put out there. I don't know what I have that weighs 1 ounce. I don't have any square weight anymore. God, that rib is soft. Maybe I used too soft a wood on that. I have to put a little brace on that. Either that or some thick CA. Why the hell will that not get in there? Oh, the thing is warped that way. Okay. How are we going to fix that? That's the outboard side. We could put a stick there, I guess. I hate dealing with kits. but I know how to fix it. I know how to fix it. Okay. Let's get some of this. Let's see here. Let me switch camera angles. You might be able to see better what I'm doing. This wing is pretty heavy, really. I could have scratch built it probably 2 ounces lighter. We'll weigh it up here in a second. As I get all these ribs fitted into these grooves. It'll be fun. I'm not going to get any racking strength until I get the sheeting on it in the center. It just doesn't want to cooperate. Why? Got to be something really stupid. Like this rib right here is too damn long. So, take it out. I certainly don't want to hand fit each rib. It's supposed to be an easy project. That's what it was that rib there holding that up. We might have another one here. The center rib has to be exactly centered because there needs to be a 1/16 of an inch gap there. Just hold it there, eyeball, and glue it. So far, so good. Now, whatever it was to let loose and went into the slot. That's what it was. This damn rib. Uh-huh. Okay. Need to break that one out. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, for some reason, this rib here, I must have notched in the wrong spot. It wouldn't allow it to come back, so it just pulled apart. I mean, this wood that I'm using was really punky. So for these two that broke out, I'm just going to use the kit ribs. I'm not going to waste my time making two more ribs. So this first one was the center with the square in it. So we know the square is in the right spot, and this is the outboard side to the square. So Doesn't matter because this bell crank won't even come close to swinging there. So it goes in here. This is split too. Can't win. Junk. Okay. Come on, get on there. You're supposed to fit. You know, got to get this up in here. There we go. Says the blind man. So we need to swing this way up. I think we're going to have to relieve them notches a little bit. Yeah, the kit was junk. The kit was junk. We're going to have to open this up a little bit. Yeah. Of course, I looked at this. There's a paper that I just found. I threw it out, I think. It says, note, the lines on these parts are not, they're, you're supposed to cut them out. You're not supposed to push them out. They're not supposed to pop out. Something to that effect. And here I thought, you know, I knew it wasn't laser cut, but I thought it would be cut of some type. Not really. There we go. These are going now. Relieve that there or what? Unbelievable. They really made this stuff junk. Really crappy. Yeah, need a little more slack. It's split. Yep, reminds me of the old gallows kit. Die crush. Now get your ass in there. I might have to cut a rib because it surely doesn't want to, it doesn't act like it wants to play. Let me relieve this a little bit too. How hard it's going to be to get that one in. Don't want to get in there. Okay, come on. I wonder if we put the bottom in first. I might just stomp on this and build my own wing. There it went, I think. I just had to threaten it. Yep. Just needed threatening. It went in there finally. Come on. So close. Don't break. God, I can't win. Just broke another rib. Oh, that ain't it. I don't think. Nope, that ain't it. Well, we'll repair that in a minute here. Won't be that big a deal. I made the ribs out of 2 punk of wood. I made it out of stunner wood. I should have known better. It's a Flite Streak wood. There we go. There we go. Come on, get in there. God, no wonder why I quit building like this. And we got it with considerable battle. Okay. It's straight, but a lot better ways to construct things in this way. Okay. Let's do that. It takes considerable sanding to get my fingerprints off there. I've lost some skin from gluing my fingers on there. Okay. Yeah, we got one more rib to put in. I don't know why this is out here. What the fuck? Heavy. Heavy. Let's see what it weighs. I gotta fix that rib there first. Let's see, I can take, nope, can't even take that. Maybe this piece here. This piece here might be the piece that broke out. It is. Yay! I don't have to cut nothing. Just glue it back on. Okay. Okay, with considerable finagling, I built it in my hand. Yep, considerable finagling. There we go. Perfect. I just cut off these patterns and if you go back in my channel, Rick, there's hundreds of videos on building jigs, molding, hundreds of videos, maybe 1,000. This is something, a throwback from the 70s that I'm doing here. Just to show them I can do it. Of course, it's not really worth it. It's a big pain in the ass. Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could do it again. It's been so long since I've built one in my hand, you know, because I'm building high zoot stunners all the time. Now, it's pretty straight. No washout. Okay, so we got this on this side. Let's see if we can get this one in now. It goes in this way. These ribs I cut are such punk wood. Yeah. As a kid, my favorite airplane, and I almost bought the motor again, but it was a little different. It was an RC engine converted. My favorite airplane when I was a kid was a Nobler Junior with a Vico 19 on it. It flew great. I didn't build it. A friend of Bill Noyes built it. Bought it for $40, and at that time that was like 400, maybe more. I had to work it off. My dad got it and set it up on the shelf, and I had to work it off. Sat in the hobby shop for about a year. It was a nice, or finished, super finished well. Joe, if Bill Noyes shows up to the field, tell him that I'm still thinking of him. He doesn't hear well, so I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think if he's still alive. He was watching me, but he doesn't hear, so he'd be about almost 90 now, I think. 80 something anyway. Late 80s. This is going to be difficult. Why are you giving me such a problem? Now that's a nice thing about lost foam wings. You break a rib and cut apart, it's perfect. We're going to have to relieve that a little bit, it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, pen marks are on this side, so it's got to go in like that. Almost. Yeah, split. Split. I might have to use that rock hard rib again. There it goes. There. You're not going to beat me, so give up. There it is. Jeez. Now we gotta glue that all back together. Of course, every time I try to use a glue bottle, it's plugged up. Third in. Okay. It's still plugged up. What in the hell is with these glue bottles today? Oh, I'm aggravated. That is ridiculous. Somebody sewing ribs got to be a doctor. Yeah, if you look back, I've sewn ribs. That's like a free spar. Doesn't weigh anything. Use Kevlar thread. I'm going to use polyspan on this one. I got a roll that just be dying to be used on something. And it won't be my stunt planes anymore, so I'm over my polyspan on stunt planes. They don't need to be that, doesn't need to be that strong. Okay, try again. Going to have fillets and a killer paint job and maybe gold leaf and everything. It's going to be the Super Streak, you know. If you think back of how many hours of enjoyment and entertainment that you've gotten for a relatively low price in building models and flying models, I mean, yeah, today they're quite expensive, but back in the day, get a McCoy for $4.95 and get a Nobler kit for $4.95. You got about $3-4 in tank and wheels and a perfect bell crank or a Vico bell crank and horns and all that. You know, for $20 you can get you got an airplane. Of course, you got dope, but it was relatively cheap then too. I think it was 49 cents a pint. Maybe a quart was $2.50. So let's say $25. Of course, in today's money, that's $250, or in this economy, it's $2,500. But if you built it well, how many hours of enjoyment did you get out of that while building and flying? And Okie dokie, we got it. We got that. So we only got 2 ribs to put on. I think I'm going to use the stock rib for the outboard tip, because that's where we'll glue the where I'll glue the tip weight to anyway. Let's get a weight on this thing. I bet this thing weighs as much as my 700 square inch stunt wing finished. This bad boy weighs, any guesses? Any guesses? Now we need to go through and detail glue all these ribs. Give me a guess. Guess the weight of this wing. Blow your mind. Well, I don't know about that, but I can tell you what this wing weighs so far. Well, I'll tell you, if nobody will guess, it's 4.8 ounces. That's how much the leading and trailing edge spars weigh. But that Johnson 35 will pull this around like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. So it took an hour and a half to build a wing. Well, less the rib cutting. If I use kit ribs, it would be an hour and a half. That's good. Hour and a half. And one of the Vico 19s were a pretty cool engine, I thought. I had a lot of fun. I started it. I mean, it started easy. We got a problem here. What are we going to do about this problem? I guess we'll sand it. We just sand it off. That broke it off. That's good. Okay. That helped. That helped rack it up good. Okay, so we get this glued in, this stick. What a cheesy way to do shit. Okay, so this is the bottom, so this is the inboard here. Put the light rib on the inboard and the heavy rib on the outboard. Yeah, it'll be all right. I got it turned over. Maybe I'll have to use a kit rib out here too. Let's try a kit rib and see how it works. That's 4.8 ounces, and I lightened the ribs up. If I would have used all kit ribs, it'd be 6.8 ounces. It's better. It's better, but hmm. Got some problems here. What's the deal? What's the deal, Larry? Let me see my little square here. It's square. That's square. Why does it? So, in order to fix that, we're going to have to cut that back a 1/16 of an inch. Could sand it back. I know this rib's going to split when I cut it. Didn't. And then I can sand it on the sander. It goes this way. Get in there. Oh, it's not cut back far enough yet. Another 60. 30 seconds, whatever. To re-engineer the kit just to make it work. And some guy that never built anything gets a hold of one of these. Wow. But that was the thing. You know, we used to play with a Rector set. That's a taboo now. You can't have a Rector set. Johnny might get hurt. Well, if Johnny's stupid enough to stick the screws in his mouth, that's the way it goes. If you get any enjoyment out of this content, be sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Please consider becoming joining the channel memberships. This thing is off too. Helps me out immensely. I wonder what happens if we turn it over like that. It doesn't fit. I don't know what happened there, but we're back. YouTube is playing around with their whatever the hell they call it, the platform. Shit, I couldn't hardly get on yesterday. They're helping us out by making it difficult. We're old, man. Quit monkeying around. It's working fine. Leave it alone. Navy carrier flew a Martin Mahler McCoy 60 with a Rossi piston liner, 3-line Roberts control valve crank. I was in the Air Force at the time and had 80,000 tied up in a lot of money. Oh, 80 bucks. Yeah. That McCoy you're talking about, believe it or not, I bought one from Eugene Toy and Hobby for 50, or maybe it was more than 50, but I sold it to Gerald Shamp. He's still on here. He's still alive. 50 bucks. It was brand new in the box. It had a metal box, a blue metal box. I wish I still had that. But alas, I don't. Come on. Used to fly with an old guy in Eugene, Oregon, Morris Gilbert. I was a Eugene prop spinner at the time. He would pick me up. We'd go the Eugene Airport and fly. Yeah. I'll guarantee the parts didn't fit because these parts don't fit. And the wood is rock hard. Might have been good wood when it was new, but it sure got stale over the last 50 years. So what are we going to do here? How are we going to make this work? I built so many of these things when I was a kid, you can't believe it. We're going to get it to work. It can't beat me. I know that for a fact. So you might as well give up now. I guess that'll have to do it. I don't like it though. So remember, I used to do these with testers, the gold. Everybody liked Ambroid, but I like testers. Of course, we had a testers rep, so. Why in the fuck does that do that? Yep, I will. Yeah, 9 ounces. 9 ounces for the whole airplane, you think? That'd be good, but I doubt it. That'd be really good, but I doubt it. Put some extra pieces in this too. There we go. Well, that'll be good enough, I guess. Let me hit it on this sander real quick. Pretty close, pretty close. I mean, close enough for what it is. Let's get one more rib on this end. I'm not making any more ribs. Get to a point of, that's it. That's all I can do. Stuff reminds me of plywood. There we go. Tom Warden was our tester's rep at the hobby shop. Man, we had good wood back then. Nothing like this stuff. SIG, all the wood used to buy. I used to love to get SIG kits because, good evening, Roy, because the wood was so good. When we used to go to the factory for the SIG contest, them ladies back there, they knew their shit. I say, hey man, we need some 4-pound wood, and they go back there and grab it right out. That's when Mike Scott was still alive and SIG was still SIG. Now it's Canadian something or other. I don't expect Gary Thayer bought flying models, and I don't expect that to ever come back. And I don't expect SIG to come back. It's just a bygone era. There we go. Which is a shame. But the way it goes. What the hell's why is it bouncing like that? 4 fitting stuff. Weight of the wing, stab, and fuse. I don't know. I think it's going to be way heavy. This thing is, like I say, almost 5 ounces as is. And my stunner wings, complete, weigh 5 ounces. So I don't know what it's going to weigh. It's going to weigh what it weighs. Well, make it as good as possible. Let's see. Let's see what it weighs. That right there is 5 ounces. It's 10.1 with no elevator or stabilizer on it. I mean, the whole airplane should be relatively light. I mean, under, I'd say 28 ounces probably. That's 10. 10.2. Where the elevator is. Here's the kit elevator. We'll check that. 10.4 plus wheels. 11. I got gear on this. Ounce for a bell crank. It weighs what it weighs, you know. Not much I can do about it. There's that. Here's the elevator. Oh, that's the kit wood there. This is 9.9. 10.2. Here's the stabilizer. 10 and a half. 10.6 for what I got here. Then I got a cheek cowl that's going on it. I don't know, hardware. It'll probably be 15 ounces without an engine. But it should be fun to fly. We're gonna put a carbon tank on it. Give me a second. I'm going to sand this leading edge off on the disc sander. Not fit worth a shit. And that's a kit rib. Does not fit worth a shit. Okay, we got that to fit now. It's straight. That's all I got to say. It's straight, so a little heavy, but it's straight. Let's see how it fits, if it's going to fit. Nope. Nope, it don't fit. So I'm going to have to adjust that, get that to fit. Quarter inch gap there. Quarter inch too small. Yeah. Come on now. Alrighty. We'll be bar sanding this here. Well, I don't like that. Not much I can do about it. Fill it up. There it is. God damn it. Can't have nothing sitting on the bench standing up. Gonna catch that and knock it over, at least I do. Boy, my hand cut parts fit so much better than kit parts. It's unreal. When I scratch build, this kit is terrible. I don't remember them being this bad, but obviously they are. A lot of work into a Flite Streak. lot of work for a Flite Streak. I can see why some people got discouraged building this junk. You screwed the original flaps up by not cutting them out. You ripped them out. I haven't done anything with the flaps. Oh, ribs. They come out all right. I mean, I will guarantee this airplane will be better than a stock Flite Streak. I know it'll be a whole hell of a lot lighter than if I'd have used all them stock ribs. I know it. It'll be fine. Joe Shaw, my question is, why did SIG go out of business? Hazel SIG is probably 100 years old. Matter of fact, she is 100 years old. She got, you know, comes a time when shit ends. They had her 100-year birthday, I think, last year at her house. I didn't go because I was busy. I don't feel like going to Fun Fly anyway, but yeah, we got it straight, so that's all that counts. She got mad at me one time for smoking in front of her house. Yep, it's all about sanding now. All about sanding. Let's see if I got that on right. The 16th. I have to lower it a little bit. On that side. That side, it'll be all right. It'll be perfect. Well, we got 2 hours in. I think that's going to be enough for tonight. Got a slight bit of wash out in the tip, just 1/16 of an inch maybe. But we'll get that out when I get it covered. All in all, it's coming out all right. I mean, what a pain in the ass. These old Top Flite parts did not fit very good. And Terry, oh, no problem. I know I could have cut them out, but I didn't want to, I'm not spending this is not a high zoot stunt plane. This is just supposedly, a fun build. And they used to pop out, but they don't pop out now. So I'll spend a couple hours off camera between now and tomorrow, sanding and fitting and making sure everything fits right. We'll put the bell crank in this and the tips on it, put it in the airplane. Actually, no, I won't. I think I'll cover this all in one piece and slide the wing in finished. I used to build them before I used to build airplanes by putting them all together and then covering them, but it adds strength when you can double up the covering in the center or do it in one piece. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll do it all in one piece. So far, so good. It's well within acceptable range, except for it's a little heavy. This wing is, if I'd have built it all out of good wood, would be probably a couple ounces lighter. This leading edge, I could have, I only got one good 1-inch block left. That's 3.5 pounds. Thank you, Joe. That's 3.5 pounds. That I could have put on my router table and routed this shape. I also have, I don't think this is any better though. And it's not the right shape. This is a stock leading edge piece that you can buy, but this feels heavy too. I mean, yeah, it's not the right shape. This was $5.19, and it's considerably thinner and sharper. So this would not work, and it's not as straight as the other one. It's a little warped. This is a Voodoo leading edge. I was gonna, if you remember back when I was in Dayton, I built 5 Voodoos. I bought that leading edge material and I'm gonna dig around for the bell crank mount. I'm not going to suspend the bell crank and put a compression spar. I'm just going to build it as the kit would. We'll put upgraded wingtips on it, either 1/4 or 3/16 wingtips instead of 1/16 inch, because that 1/16 inch is heavier than my 1/8 inch. Maybe we'll use 1/8 inch. 16th is just not enough. Oh, while you were sleeping, if you remember right, I did this rudder out of 1/8 inch. Well, now it's 3/16. I broke it, and the wood was punky, and I just said, you know what, we're going to make this like a stunt plane. We'll do it at 3/16. And I did the grain a little different. The grain's running this way, and that way in the triangle here. So it shouldn't warp. And once I get this tissued and super filled in, it should look pretty good. It's a nice shape. I also, of course, mounted the gear today. And got this cowl, this cheek cowl. Where did it go? Up here somewhere. Come on. Anyway, oh, here it is. You'll notice here, no, I'm going to use a Johnson 35 on it. An SS Johnson 35. I've made this cheek cowl. It'll go on there when after I get the wing in it, sand it up. And that's not something that goes on a Flite Streak, but that's what I'm gonna put on it. And how I'm gonna mount the tank is, and the old way, I drilled 4 holes right here, and I'm gonna do a carbon tank for it because I can make it as long as possible. And I've left a 1/4 inch top and a 1/4 inch on the bottom so that I can shim it up and down, and we'll just rubber band the tank on that. It'll have a wire hooks in it, you know, through, and then a loop, and then you just rubber band it on. And for a tail wheel, I'm going to drill a hole in this, put a 1/4 inch dowel in there with a wire sticking out of it so that we got a tail wheel. Remember, this streak is 1 inch longer in the nose, 1 inch longer in the tail. So it's a super streak. It's not a Flite Streak anymore, as Terry suggested. Here's the wingtip material. Tip, there's the wingtip right there. 1/16 of an inch. What a joke. Let's get it out of there. This wood is like bamboo. We'll use this as the pattern. I spent $65 on this kit and got a bunch of patterns. That's what I got. I'm going to take this to the gnats just so I can fly in the grass. You know, when the wind comes up at the gnats, you don't want to fly. I don't want to fly my good stuff, so we'll take this out of the car and beat the hell out of it. Who cares if it hits the ground? And it will be annoying. And that's a good thing, because I can't put a muffler on it. What happened here? Oh, shoot. There we are. Two. I got two Johnsons. I got the original. Yes, this kit is from the 60s. So is this motor. I got the original Johnson, and it has great compression. I mean, super nice. Then I got the Johnson SS. Now they both fit in the same lug, so this one has back plate pressure. The Johnson SS, the SS stands for Super Stunt. I think, let's weigh them up. I think the original, the reason why they went to this Super Stunt is if you look at this crankshaft here, it's much bigger than that. This is like a McCoy. They used to break the crankshaft right there, so they made it a 5/8 instead of 1/2 inch or whatever. So maybe I will use the lighter one. The SS with prop weighs 8.4 and the original weighs 7.4. So it's an ounce. We might use this one instead. I think I could swap out the back plates. Yeah, I can. Swap out the back plates and use pressure on this one. Yeah, $2.95. Well, we got the wingtip pattern cut here. Somewhere in this box, I got the flaps too. I think. I haven't thrown anything out, so they got to be. These are ribs. I'm gonna have to cut new flaps. Flaps are ridiculously heavy. This here, this piece of wood here weighs as much as the whole fuselage. 3 ounces on that. There's no way I could use that stuff and make a decent airplane. This is my wood, the good contest balsa. Where are the flaps? I have not thrown anything away. Oh, here we go, flap. These are the flaps. They are heavy. I mean, it is rockwood. It's unbelievably heavy. So we'll cut a set of these. Looks to me like these tips need to be a 1/4 inch longer so they can mold into the flaps. Yep, we'll do it that way. Skyray 1/8 inch wingtip. Okay. This is 16th. This is 1/8 inch. This is rockwood. Let's see what it weighs. Just this crappy wingtip and this crappy flap weighs 1/2 ounce. One wingtip and one flap. I'll guarantee that I can cut it and make it under 1/2 ounce. Probably for both of them. See if I got any 1/8 inch here. Although I gotta go back to my stash to get some. Of course, I won't glue them flaps on until I get the wing in, because I want to measure from the datum line. Here and make sure that I get that perfectly straight on there. Even though this airplane doesn't have working flaps, we definitely want them straight. What happened to the tip? I got this. Did I throw it back in the box? Yes, I did. Let's dig out some material. I'll cut them up right now. Before we go, we've been on 2 hours. I could go to midnight, except I got dinner coming up in a half an hour. I could go to midnight and have the whole airplane done. I love the Top Flight Combat Cats. 2 chips for $3.95. Yeah, I remember Combat Cats. Then they had the Combat Kittens, which were half A. Be right back. Gotta get some wood. Pick out some wood. See, we got wood down here. This 3/16 or 3/32 or 1/8. Now, where's my gauge? Here it is. This is 3/32. There we go. There we go. Okay, that whole, if this is a half an ounce, that's going to be an ounce. Let's see what this whole piece of wood weighs. 7/10, 22 grams. And this is 12, 24. Yeah, 24 grams, and these are cut out. So let's cut out some parts and see what we get here. Yeah, my younger days, I could do that. Anybody around in the Stuka Stunt days knows that I scratch built an Aries in 11 days, an Aries, and won Spirit of 68 with it. Sold it to Dennis Vandeker. Nice looking airplane. Flew good. You know what? If I do it another way, I could save some wood. So we're going to double the thickness on these parts here. So let's cut this. We're going to add 3/8 of an inch so that I can sand it off with the flaps. Make it look nice. Cut this one out, and then I will also hollow this out. So we're not gaining, not going to be a solid piece. Between the riblets, wingtip ribs. I need a new blade. Between the wingtip ribs, I'll hollow it out so it's. I mean, this thing is heavy, but it's going to be light as it can be for what it is. I sold my G2135. Of course, this airplane was all about nostalgia. It wasn't about, the Johnsons we flew when we were kids. And, I had a G2135, but more Johnson, McCoy stuff. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that, I guess. Okay. Anybody know who designed the winder? I don't remember. Okay, these are quite a bit bigger, and I'll cut the end of the tip off when I put the flaps on it. I've told the story before. 1969, when they landed on the moon, supposedly, I was listening to Vin Scully announce the Dodgers and Giants game at Candlestick Park while starting my voodoo on the back patio. Of course, I wasn't a big combat guy. I had a McCoy 35 on that. It was fun to play with. That's really strange. I can't remember where I set shit half the time, and I can remember, what is that, 50 years ago? I can remember it was like yesterday. Well, we got it just long enough. I have to cut these as long as I can get them too, so that we can fit them to the fuse. We got plenty. Yep. Can't remember half the time what the hell I'm doing, but I can remember 50 years ago. And just about everything in my life that I remember is I can put the airplane to it. What the hell did I just do with the knife? And I just was using it a second ago. There it is. Airplane or motorcycle? I can tell you what I had. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't believe this will be under 15 ounces. If it's under 30 ounces, I'll be happy. But I intend to put a super nice paint job on it. I got all that Createx paint, and I'm going to use up my urethane, so I'm going to have a super nice finish on it. Okay, so now here we got our wingtips and flaps all cut out. Let's see what it weighs. How much did I lighten the load? Wingtips and flaps weigh 12 grams, all 4 pieces. That's pretty good. Big weight savings, 12 grams. Yeah, it says 8 or 10. That's 20. 20, 12 for both. Yeah, saved a quarter ounce. Can't complain. If I did, who'd listen? Now, look here on this. Where we at here? There we are. If you look here, I left these real long because the way that that went together, that they didn't match, so that I can put this flap on here, and when I get it all together, I can cut that at the correct angle with the back of this flap, so it'll look right. I've seen Flite Streaks, it didn't look right in that area. So what I'll do with this tip is, it's got a rib that comes out this way and then that way. I'll take a brass tube and guide it and then cut all this out here. I mean, I don't know why, just to be different. Whoever gets this after I'm done playing with it will go, whoa, this is built pretty strange. Yeah. I need to get a long bar on this. I probably need to jig it up, and so I can long bar it, back and forth. So they're all the same, because they're not. I want the covering to be nice on this. But I think I'll wait till I get the center sheeting on it so it doesn't rack. When you're building a house, you build the you know, these are the studs. You got the the studs and the top. This is the top plate and bottom plate. In order to keep it from racking, it's called plumb and line. And so you pull the wall plumb, and then you line it by racking it, and then put the sheeting on. So this here is racking slightly. I mean, not a whole lot. But once I get that center section sheeting on, that'll lock the wing up. So that'll line it. I've been doing this 60 years. I figured what it doesn't seem like I'm that old, but I've been doing this 60 years, the same shit over and over again. So maybe I know something. All right, well, I think I'm going to end the stream. I've been talking for 2.5 hours now. That's more than I can hang with. So I'll tinker with it tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. And by then we should be ready to put this thing together. I mean, you know, cover it and get some dope on it. The parts are done now. It's real simple. Still got to go to Schaefer's and get some cloth hinges. Mark wanted to fly tomorrow, but I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna wait till Thursday when the wind is 4 miles an hour instead of 8 to 15. All right, Joe. Thank you. I'm gonna eat dinner here in a little bit and relax, and then come back up here and tinker away. You know, if I had somebody working with me that I could talk to, I probably could stay on for 8 or 10 hours. But for me to sit and talk for 2 and 3 hours by myself is pretty hard to do. But I've learned how to do it, because you certainly don't want dead air. All right. I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya. Thanks for the super chat.